Hello, I'm Chris Boggle, and welcome back to another episode of the Roundtable. Now, since tomorrow is Halloween, I figured we'd do this sort of thing where we talk about our favorite spooky and kind of Halloween songs here on the podcast. I thought that would be quite fun, so here we're going to be showing all our favorite spooky Halloweeny songs here. So, with me today I have Ben,
Hello.
Matthew,
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
and Zach.
Hey,
Basically, I'm planning to just jump right into this. What are your all's favorite Halloween songs? We'll start with you, Ben.
Superstition by Stevie Wonder. Superstition by Stevie Wonder is obviously an excellent song.
Agreed.
It deals with less like the supernatural literally existing, but more with people's relationship to it. Like how they view it, how they're like afraid of things that are like not really problems. It's like superstition ain't the way. But like it still deals with a lot of these things, and it's like it the way it like approaches like the feel of the unknown and stuff, even if it does provide a skeptical viewpoint to it, is a great Halloween song. In that sense, I think yeah, it's a great song.
Alright. Anyone else here have any opinions on Superstition by Stevie Wonder? I personally quite like the song.
it's a good song. I wouldn't really say it's a Halloween song because, in my opinion, when songs are spooky or creepy or whatever, it's the musicality of the song. And Superstition by Stevie Wonder is kind of like an upbeat, like kind of dancey song. I don't really get the creepy, like eerie vibes from that.
Yeah,
I,
no.
I think
I mean, it's
that's
a very upbeat song and stuff. It's true.
I think that's a fair point, Zach. It's a song I quite like. It's not one that crossed my mind for this sort of theme of spooky songs, but I do like it. But I will agree, I think there are other songs that maybe do the theme better here that we'll pretty soon discuss than Superstition did.
But I
And
will
not that I don't like the song.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like the song. Stevie Wonder's a man.
I don't know. I think that it is a good song, even if it's not like dark sounding. It describes something actually kind of scary, which is people being afraid of things that are not like really scary and they suffer for it. That is kind of scary, isn't it?
Ben's a big fan of psychological horror, in case you couldn't tell.
Well, yeah, in terms of actual horror, yeah, I do tend to prefer psychological horror, yeah.
So, we're going off on to you next, Matthew. What is a song you think is spooky and Halloweeny?
Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Kind of the quintessential Halloween song in a way.
I mean, it was so like it's like the one of the greatest music videos of all time. It really much uh shows the Halloween spirit, and even got like uh the religious group that Michael Jackson and his siblings were raised upon, to basically have a video, like basically have them say like, hey, you don't mess with this type of stuff. So, Thriller by Michael Jackson.
And Thriller also has that little opening part by Vincent Price, which adds to the whole Halloween feel. I'm kind of surprised you didn't actually mention that, Matthew. What are what's your thoughts on
That too.
Thriller?
So, I mean, Michael Jackson's a legend, obviously. That song is pretty much what made him a legend. That album is pretty much what made him a legend. I remember being like 6 years old and seeing the music video for the first time on Halloween and think it was like the coolest thing ever. But
Well, you're older than I thought you were.
I don't like listen to Michael Jackson very often, but that does seem like an example. I mean, yeah, yeah, can't really argue with that.
Alright, up next, Zach, what is your pick for a spooky Halloween song?
I've been waiting for this moment that I get to talk about this song for ever since you messaged me the topic. I was worried that someone else was going to take this song first, but the best Halloween song ever, the best spooky, eerie, creepy song is Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath from the album Black Sabbath.
I knew you were gonna have Black
And
Sabbath
Fantastic.
on here.
That was on my list. That was on my list.
um, um,
I'm not
the
surprised at
first time I
all.
heard this song, the first time I heard this song, like, I don't know, it was probably like 3 or 4 years ago. I had heard like some of like the creepier like Metallica songs, for example, which we'll talk about later. But this song, this was just it was different because a lot of it was the guitar riff where it's the duh, 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 and then so basically in that chord that Tony Iommi's playing, it's usually it's usually not that evil sounding, but the way he just changes the notes and subverts your expectations makes everything just so creepy. And like when you listen to the lyrics, which Geezer Butler wrote, um, man, that stuff freaks me out. And like imagine like a 14-year-old kid, or 15-year-old kid hearing like Satan sitting there, he's smiling and all that stuff. It freaked me out, and there's only been a few songs that have had like that effect on me where like I never heard anything like it before, and I don't know, that kind of like started my whole Black Sabbath fandom.
Very nice. I can't say I've ever been freaked out by a song, though. Alright, what are the rest of y'all's thoughts on Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath?
Yeah, that's a pretty good song on a pretty good album. I mean, that was on my list of songs. Not the only song from that album that I put on that list. So
Black
I got
Sabbath is on their own kind of a good Halloween band, just in general. Like, if
Oh
there's
yeah.
one band's discography that fit the theme we're doing today the best, it would probably be Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
say that on like the first Black Sabbath album, I would say that like that song and Sleeping Village are like the only like, oh my God, this is freaky on that, and then the rest are kind of like just like heavy blues songs.
Doom and gloom, my man, doom and gloom.
They invented two subgenres of metal at the same time: heavy metal and doom metal.
Moving on, I have yet to speak, so I'm going to give my first pick. My first pick is Boris The Spider by The Who. This is kind of a bass-dominated song. It's written by bassist John Entwistle. It's a song about a spider. It is a very mundane song. There's no like magic spirals or anything in this, but the kind of creepy voice that Entwistle uses, as well as just the kind of overall spiral theme, I think makes this kind of a fail kind of Halloween song. It has kind of a mildly creepy, kind of in a cartoony way, sort of sound, both musically and in the vocals. So yeah, I think this is kind of on the hammier side of Halloween Sword and Lay, unlike the kind of more of a Black Sabbath's kind of hammy too in a way. But this is certainly, I think, a really good classic sort of '60s rock song that for Halloween. What are y'all's thoughts? Anyone else have any thoughts on Boris the Spider?
Oh, it's the spider. I mean, it's a creepy song. I don't know what else to say.
Honestly, I've never heard that song, so I'm gonna bow out of this one.
All right, back to the top now. Ben, what's another song from you?
Speaking of the hammy side of Halloween, and no, the song does not sound creepy at all. Just getting that out of the way. It's still like one of the top Halloween songs. It is Ghostbusters. Who you gonna call?
I was gonna pick that.
Oh well,
It's too late.
too late. You can discuss it though, man, if you don't want.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who is a big fan of the original Ghostbusters movie from 1984, it's like a very good theme of that movie and the of like, yeah, it's basically great for that movie. So yeah, I agree with that.
It's a fun song. It's a very cheesy '80s kind of comedy movie song. It looks good for what it is. It's not the most spooky song here. I mean, it's very poppy, let's face it. It wasn't personally on my list, oddly enough, but I think it fits in here pretty well. I do think it fits the film well, and the film is a good Halloween movie. Anyone else? Zach, you have anything to say?
Don't like. I really don't like that song at all. It's just so corny.
Oof.
But
I mean, it's very corny. I mean, I'm not gonna deny it, but like,
Okay.
I don't get it.
Alright, Matthew, what's another song you like that's spooky and Halloweeny?
Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell.
Yeah.
It's-
Rockwell!
Yeah, I was about to say Maxwell. I'm like, wait a minute.
We've done this before on this channel. The One Hit Wonders video, you and me kept saying it was by Maxwell, and at some point, Ben was saying it too, and then Googled it and found it wasn't Maxwell.
Well, I knew it sounded wrong.
Bang, bang.
I'm like, it's somebody from.
I had to
somebody
double check
else.
because I was thinking it was Rockwell. I was like, I'm gonna go double check.
But yeah, that's like a very Halloween-y song. The only thing that's a flaw in that song is him saying he's afraid of the IRS, because that sounds like he's like Yoshi and just is evading taxes.
isn't everyone afraid of the IRS?
I mean, I agree. Even the Joker is afraid of the IRS.
The next person is Zach. Zach, what's your next pick?
The Thing That Should Not Be by Metallica.
I remember that song.
That's a good song. This was like the first song that I listened to, and it like actually like freaked me out. I was listening to the lyrics. The song is based off the H.P. Lovecraft story, The Call of Cthulhu, which I've read. It's very good if you're into like the Lovecraftian horror stuff. It's fantastic. And basically it's about like Cthulhu rising from the ocean, his like I guess children rising with him, destroying the world, all that stuff. It's great. It freaked me out at first.
One of these days I'm going to reenact that song in real life. Alright, anyone have any thoughts on, this song?
I have to listen to that song. I don't know if I've heard of it.
It's on Master Puppets.
Yeah, Track Through Master.
That's probably my
Puppet.
favorite.
It's fantastic.
That's probably my favorite Metallica album.
I go back and forth between Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and then Justice for All. It's pretty much a three-way tie for me.
I mean, this is a sidebar, but I'm very much more into like 80s Metallica than.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyways, I guess I'm up next again. For my next pick, I'm going with Red Rain by Peter Gabriel. This is kind of a spooky song in a way. I always imagine it's about, like, blood or something raining from the sky. It may actually be from the same year as Master of Puppets, now that I think about it. It's a very good song. It's probably my favorite Peter Gabriel song. I think it sounds really good. It's a little bit less spooky instrumentally than some of the other songs we've covered. Boring Bins, of course. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good song. It's kind of a weird song, sort of way, but I do think it certainly has that spooky Halloween vibe to it, in a way. And I really like the vocal performance on this one, kind of the gritty sort of sound to it. So yeah, Red Rain by Peter Gabriel from his album So.
Raining Blood by Slayer. That's it. That's all my mind's been fixating on for the past a minute or so.
Slayer.
Ben, what's your next pick?
Psycho Killer.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Psycho Killer by the Talking Heads.
It's technically Talking Heads.
He's right, it's Talking Heads. I had to be very careful when I wrote my review of this album. Here that just came out, Talking Heads 77, go watch that video. Because, yeah, Matthew's right, it's Talking Heads, not the Talking Heads.
I know. The Psycho Killer by the Talking Heads.
You're not a real fan.
Okay, so what's everyone's thoughts on Psycho Killer by Talking Heads?
It's a great song. In my review of it, I said it was great. I gave it like a 10 out of 10. A great song. Although, I will say it may actually not be my favorite song on that album. But it is a great song.
I mean, that's like one of the big Talking Heads songs, so... Like, I know nowadays it's basically once in a lifetime, or like burning down the house, or if you're like me, that one song that's known for the dance.
Life Doing
Not
Wartime?
Girlfriend. Yeah, yes. That's actually my favorite Talking Heads song.
Like which song?
Life Doing Wartime. Psycho Killer's a great Halloween song. It's a bit of a different Halloween song, but it really has the true kind of hammy spirit of Halloween, where it kind of mixes the mundane with the kind of, psychopathic.
All I have to say about the song is that when my cat would like smack my dad, he would start singing Psycho Killer, but Psycho Kitty instead.
Okay. Okay, Matthew, it's your turn again. What's your next pick?
All right, this is a little bit unorthodox, but This Is Halloween from Nightmare Before Christmas.
That was on my list too. So
Bam.
Technically, it's
Yeah,
by someone who was originally a musician in terms of like popular music and not just film soundtracks. So I guess it does count.
Yeah, it's basically. It's the best hybrid holiday movie you can think of. You can watch it at Halloween time. You can watch it in Christmas time. It's it's one of my favorite Disney movies, and yeah.
Yeah, I especially want to shout out the background music version of it in Kingdom Hearts. That's also really good. Alright, Zach, what's your next pick?
I want to talk about Iowa by Slipknot, the song. And if you know anything about the Iowa era for Slipknot, it's that they were going through it then. It was like they blew up almost instantly when their self-titled album was released. They started doing a bunch of drugs, all that stuff. Recording Iowa was really hard for them, and when they did the song Iowa, the first 5 minutes is about just like it's just straight screaming for 5 minutes. There's some ambience in it, but it's a lot of screaming. It sounds like, it sounds like just a really screwed up version of the Midwest, which I think that's what they wanted Iowa to be. And then when the actual song kicks in, it's insane and it's really freaky and it's a very cool song. I don't listen to it that much because it's 15 minutes long, and just because I know like how bad it was for them to be recording it, how like depressed they were, how much they hated each other.
damn.
Anyone else here have any thoughts on Iowa? I know for one, I've never heard of this song before.
Can I just say my piece?
Yep.
When he said Iowa, I was thinking of Higher by Three for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just like,
It's
hey,
always valid to think about Creed. It's always valid to think about Creed, no matter what the situation is.
All right. I have not listened to Slipknot that much, so I will listen to that song.
Alright, up next is me. I'm going to give kind of a 2-for-1 here. We can't do a Halloween episode without songs about witches. So I'm going with the ever-popular Fleetwood Mac here, and of course the ever-popular song Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac, but I also want to shout out Sisters of the Moon, the kind of over Fleetwood Mac witch song from Tusk. People who watch my channel know Fleetwood Mac 1975, which has Rhiannon on it, is my favorite Fleetwood Mac album. I actually like it more than Rumors, sorry, Trigger Alert. But yeah, Sisters of the Moon's good too. Not as good as Rhiannon, of course, but they're both kind of witchy songs. I'd say Sisters of the Moon is the more Halloweeny of the two, but Rhiannon's the better song. I really like the kind of organ keyboard thing they've got going on there, kind of spooky sounding, and of course witches are a Halloween staple. Big shout out to Banjo-Kazooie. And yeah, so great. Great Halloween songs in my opinion. I listen to them all year round, of course, but I think they kind of fit in with our theme here very well. They're certainly spooky songs, although kind of on the lighter end of spooky. Anyone else have any thoughts on these songs?
That's like one of the more popular Fleetwood Mac songs is Rhiannon, and that was a very good song. It's not my favorite Fleetwood Mac song, but that's very good.
Yeah, they're good songs. I particularly enjoy Rhiannon, of course.
Anyone else have anything to say before we move on?
Can you take me higher?
No.
You're not a real friend.
To a place where the blind can see.
Exactly.
That's it, I'm getting my broomstick. Alright, up next, Ben, your turn again. What's your song?
Sweet Dreams are made of this. Now, that title doesn't sound particularly haunting, but frankly, the song has a moody, dark sound to it. It's like some of the lyrics, some of them want to use you, some of them want to be used by you, some of them want to abuse you, some of them want to be abused. It's kind of eerie, in my opinion. I sometimes joke about it being the best Christmas song, a joke no one else gets. But really, it's more Halloweeny.
I still don't understand why you think it's a Christmas song, other than, are you stupid?
No, 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 it wasn't even my idea, was it? Just to be very clear. I'm not stupid. Don't be mean.
Was it Matthew's idea?
No, no. I mean, I don't know, Matthew. Do you think the Sweet Dreams
You
were
don't
made
know
of this?
Matthew?
What?
You're like, oh, now I'm disassociating myself from this Matthew person.
I did not. I did not.
Matthew is unfortunately not able to speak right now because he slipped and fell on a banana peel and suffered grievous injuries.
See?
So we all
See?
so happy Halloween, y'all. So yeah, but he says that it sounds like a serial killer song. Hopefully, we're praying for his swift recovery. Hopefully, he'll be able to talk throughout the rest of this video. But for now, he has to recover from his injuries. Yeah, Matthew, what's your next song?
Spooky, scary skeletons, don't shivers down your spine.
You're going
Yeah,
for
that one.
an oldie here, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anyone else was going to get that, but I wanted to pick it before someone took it.
Alright, anyone else have anything to say about this song? Alright. Zach, what's your next pick?
I want to talk about. I'm gonna change things up because I've been going for a lot of metal. I'm gonna change things up. I'm gonna go for "Song for the Deaf" by Queens of the Stone Age. And if you know anything about the "Songs for the Deaf" album, it's a concept album about taking a road trip from LA to Joshua Tree, and like the different radio stations you would come across along the way. When you get to "Songs for the Deaf" or to "Song for the Deaf," which is the final song on the album, you're in Joshua Tree, and I imagine it's like late at night. You know, I imagine Joshua Tree is like desert. Never been to California. I wouldn't know. And you're like on this listening to this AM radio station, and this just weird, almost satanic voice comes on the radio and says, you should be on your knees begging for this. It's "Song for the Deaf." And at that point, I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And then it's the most like evil, sick riff with Mark Lanigan, may he rest in peace. He had one of the most beautiful and one of the most creepy voices in rock music. And when he was in Queens of the Stone Age at the time, his lyrics on that, his vocals on that, are just so creepy, just so freaky. I gotta say, I had to put Queens of the Stone Age in here somewhere because you know me. But that song, I was thinking about a bunch of different songs, and that song, just every time I listen to it, creeps me out. It's so good.
I do indeed know Zach.
I will say, the first Queens of the Stone Age song I've ever heard in my life was actually in the best Madden game of all time, Madden NFL 08, where it had threes and the sevens.
It's just threes and sevens.
Threes and sevens. That was my first indirect love of Queens of the Stone Age. And then Zach came into my life and he talked about Queens of the Stone Age. And I've listened to their albums and they are very good. So you should listen to Queens of the Stone Age.
Alright, so for my next pick, I'm going Slightly Mad by Queen from their last album that was released during Freddie Mercury's lifetime, Innuendo. This is a song that kind of can be read in a different way than a Halloween-y way, but kind of at its heart, it's a very cheesy sort of song, especially the music video is pretty cheesy, where, it's this guy, he's going slightly mad, but in this kind of cheesy, sort of funny way. I don't really have, I guess, a huge amount to say about it, other than I think it's a very good Halloween song. Does anyone else have any thoughts on this song? I'm Going Slightly Mad by Queen.
I think I was going slightly mad when I was talking to a bunch of kids about how they didn't know what Seinfeld was.
Okay.
How can you not know what Seinfeld is? Oh my god.
That's crazy to me.
One of my hyperfixations.
Even I know what Seinfeld is. Even I know what Seinfeld is, and I'm not like a big TV fan, and I've never seen it. But like, I know what it is, and have known what it is for like ever. So, White Ben, what's your next pick?
I'm going with "Season of the Witch" by Donovan. A classic song, classic from my walk.
A classic from your walk.
Classic from my walk. Must be the season of the witch.
It's too bad Santiago's not here, because if Santiago was here, he'd be very proud of you for picking this, Ben.
Hopefully he can watch this video.
Hopefully he'll watch this video and he'll be proud of you.
Must be the season of the witch. I got a few songs I can remember, like people, like employees at my work singing along to.
Alright. It's an alright song. It's not like my favorite in that style, but it is certainly a very kind of witchy Halloween song. Anyone else have any thoughts on Season of the Witch by Donovan?
I straight up thought of Seasons of Love by from Rent.
Okay. Matthew, what's your next pick?
Oh. I'm gonna go Hell's Bells by AC/DC.
Alright. Anyone have anything they want to say about this song?
I'm on the highway to hell.
That's a different song.
I would have used that one, but it has nothing to do with Halloween, basically.
I mean, it's about going to hell. Kind of metaphor.
Yeah. Also, basically, a song that I could have picked was the Monster Mash, but I wanted to feel like I wanted to be cool.
Yes. Monster Mash actually was the next on my list.
Yeah.
Look,
I was surprised no one picked that one.
Today I don't give a shit being cool. I don't think any of us do.
Yeah.
Maybe Zach. I don't know. The rest of us.
Zach is
Hell's
cool.
Bells is a good one.
Zach is cool. Yeah. The rest of us are losers. I'm sorry, guys.
I wouldn't say that.
Rest of us are.
Never mind.
You made a Nirvana reference.
Okay, Zach, what's your next pick?
I want to talk about Good Morning Black Friday by Megadeath. First of all, Megadeth's the only band that I've ever met, which is cool. But Good Morning Black Friday starts out with this, kind of soft, mellow acoustic guitar, but you feel like something's not right. And something's creepy, and then there's, people talking in the background, and they're like, wait, WTF is that? And it's and then it gets into the actual, metal, Dave Mustaine talking about, killing people and stuff. It's a pretty crazy song. It's sick, though. It's such a good song. It's probably the best Megadeth song. It's not my favorite, but it's probably the best.
Alright, does anyone else have any thoughts on Dave Mustaine talking about killing people? No?
But it's not real. It's not him actually talking about it.
It's not real! It's not real! Zach screams in vain. It's not real! It's not real!
It's a character. It's a character. It's a horror character that he created.
I guess it's my turn again. I am going with Eyes Without a Face by Billy Idol. Pretty good song. It's Billy Idol's best song, and it's like based off of a horror movie or something. I don't really know, but I know it has this kind of creepy but kind of subdued sound to it, so it's my favorite song by Billy Idol, at least. It's not like one of the greatest songs ever made, but I think it's a very good Halloween song. It's probably a better Halloween song than it is a song, but I do like it, so... anyone else have any thoughts on Eyes Without a Face?
I don't.
I literally thought you just said with arms wide open.
Okay, and now here at the end, I also want to do honorable mentions, since we didn't have time to talk about every song, of course, here, so let's just list off what we have left. For me, I want to list off also Spirits of Ancient Egypt by Wings from their album Venus and Mars, Four Horsemen by The Clash from their album London Calling, Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult. A lot of people would probably say that's one of the quintessential Halloween songs, but we just hadn't gotten around to it yet. And Faro by Orphan Brown, which I've recently reviewed, so go check out that video. Anyone else have any other honorable mentions?
Yes, I have a ton.
Go on.
What I had left on my list is Running Up That Hill, A Devil with God.
Not really a Halloween song.
I mean, it's kind of an eerie song. I mean, I'll agree lyrically, it's not like a horror song or anything, but there's like an existential, like, eeriness to it. Wuthering Heights by Kate Bush, which, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't.
I've not read that book.
I was gonna say Wuthering. I was gonna say that song.
That's Running Up That Hill is eerie. Wuthering Heights. If you know, you know. I don't know what else to say. You already said Don't Feel the Reaper. Highway to Hell.
As Virginia native Pusha T said, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Uno!
Michael Cimbello.
Maniac by Michael Cimbello.
In the movie, it's like, oh wow, she's working really hard to train the dancing. But
he is a serial killer, basically.
In the song, it's a serial. Oh, let's be real.
She is going to eat you alive.
Timothy, which I'm surprised Christopher didn't mention. I
love that song.
Timothy.
I don't know, it's maybe a little too dark to be a Halloween song, honestly.
You think that's dark? Zombie by the Cranberries, but
no.
Yes, it is. It's a really horrifying song.
Yeah, but it's not really in the true spirit of Halloween.
But it is a horrifying song. But I will go back briefly to Defending Zombie. Yes, you might be like, no, that's not a song about actual zombies. But no, what's more horrifying than the crap described in that song? I don't know. But that is honestly one of the most terrifying songs I know. I find wolf more terrifying than vampires, to be real. And then we have Paranoid, Iron Man, War Pigs, and The Wizard.
We have Black Sabbath's entire discography.
Yes, basically. But obviously, all of the songs, a lot of horror songs, are horror fantasy, or horror science fiction in the case of Iron Man. So yeah, that's all. And then, quote. Here's the thing. Here's the last secret one. Easy on me by Adele.
What?
The perfect Halloween song. The perfect Halloween song.
Well, the man has a knife and he's about to carve her up. She's like,
easy on my baby.
That still sounds like a lot. Than she is.
Dude, I thought you were about to say Easy by Talk the Commodore.
Easy by the Commodores. Cause I'm
Here's
easy.
the
I'm
story.
easy
He
like
comes
Sunday
out like
morning.
he just murdered somebody, and he's just like comes out the house. He's wiping his hands clean of the blood. Oh, that's amazing.
It is amazing. We found a lot more Halloween songs. I didn't even know what Halloween songs.
Oh man,
Shout out to "Doing It All for My Baby" by Huey Lewis. The song's not really a Halloween song, but the music video is.
I mean, "Hip to Be Square" is a horror song when you think about it.
True, he literally turned into a squirrel, like the Squirrel Pumpkin guy, whose name I forget.
Wait a minute, I got one.
Yeah.
I got a Halloween song. It's Stockholm Syndrome by One Direction.
Phil. Well, that's all.
If you look at the lyrics, it's obviously a man who is being like basically a slave to this woman or a man, who knows, who's just obsessed with him.
Alright, everyone. Thanks for watching this episode of Walk Roundtable. I hope you have a very happy Halloween. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Everyone say Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.